the Americans are being forced to coexist with Russians, and let's talk about it. Well, I'm laughing for a reason, okay? The reason why I'm laughing is because one, I'm satisfied. I am happy that our people now get to see that the power is with us, okay? With us, the people, slash the government, whatever. But it's with us. Why am I saying this? I am saying this because the US all of a sudden is changing their tone. Just a few months ago, they were telling Niger they cannot have a relationship with Russia. If they're allies with Russia, they will pay for it. Well, they didn't use these words, but this politics, the way they handle things. But they were adamant they did not want Niger to be friends with Russia or China or any of those countries that America doesn't like, right? So that was the case, and there was a back and forth to the point where Niger's government decided to cut ties with the US troops. And they said, okay, if you're going to insist on choosing our allies for us, even though we're a sovereign country, then you can hit the road. Your troops can leave. And then US tried to change it up a little bit, tried to say let's negotiate. There was a back and forth. But then now finally, when Niger brought in Russian troops, those troops are actually there to train the military of Niger, right? And the equipment, like they're there to show them technical stuff. So when they're there now, the US realized that Niger means business and they're not going to bow down to their request. Now they're saying, wait a minute, like, I'm sure there's another way that we can do this. But mind you, just a few months ago, they were saying that they cannot coexist with Russia. If Russia's coming, we are leaving, we are out. But now that Russian troops are nearby, like they are, I think they're sharing an airbase. The Russians are there, but now since they don't want to leave Niger and leave that stronghold that they have on Niger, they're like, okay, we can coexist. Actually, I can read for you the exact quote. BBC reports, Russian forces were present at the base in Niger's capital Niamey, but were not mingling with American troops, US officials told the Reuters. The Defense Secretary Lloyd said that Russia posed no risk to U.S. forces. Quote, the Russians are in a separate compound and don't have access to U.S. forces or access to our equipment. I'm always focused on the safety and protection of our troops. But right now, I don't see a significant issue here in terms of our force protection, end quote. I find it hilarious that now they're saying that the Russians don't pose any risk. And this is a direct quote. But just a few months ago, they were telling us how risky the situation is and how they were adamant, like they were very serious about, Russia and Niger and, other countries as well. But right now we're talking about Niger and Russia. But when they realized that Niger means business, they have changed their tone. That's what I mean by now we know we have the power. I wish everyone knew. The same way Niger changed it up and forced US to actually bow down in return. Instead of like Niger bowing down and saying, oh my God, yes, US, oh, I'm sorry, you're my ally, you come first, you're the best. They said, hold up, we're a sovereign country, you're forcing us to choose and we're not going to choose. If you want to leave, leave. Now all of a sudden now they want to beg, they want to negotiate, they want to stay in the same airbase with the Russian troops. That tells you that they know they're not winning this, so they'll do anything to stay in Niger. So that is the takeaway for me personally, and I hope for a lot of governments and a lot of countries, they realize the power that they have. This is the kind of power we all possess. It's just we refuse to accept it. We refuse to stand up for what is right. But well done to Niger. Well done to the government of Niger. We hope and pray that Niger now, gets on the right track. They seem like they're on the right track anyways, but they actually continue with this pace. And we see them in the near future as one of the wealthiest countries in the world.